I'm Stephen Ben-nun. You're watching Israeli News Live. And listen, want to thank Sister Tracy for sending me a message here just moments ago. Another earthquake near Los Angeles, 7.1 earthquake. Just yesterday, there was a 6.4. Generally when these earthquakes happen, the tremors end up getting smaller, but now we got to go in just the opposite direction, going higher from a 6.4 to a 7.1, 11 miles from Ridgecrest, California there. You can just barely see on the bottom of your screen there, that little blue dot in there. That's down there by Los Angeles area there. I'm not really sure the scale on here that I'm seeing here on Twitter just happened about 7 minutes ago. And this brings back memories, and I'm sure many of you guys are well aware of this from the early, what was it, 1900s, I believe. A young man that saw the dreams of the earthquakes of Los Angeles going beneath the sea. And it started out very much like this here. It started off with a smaller earthquake. Everyone was really fearful. And of course, the young man that had the dreams was describing the way the people looked in LA, nothing like what it was in the early 1900s, talking about their different colors in their hair, things like that, very much more of modern days today. And he said when everybody breathed a sigh of relief, then come the mega quake. And of course, they started crying out on their ham radios, Los Angeles is going beneath the sea. Well, I certainly pray that's not the case today, and especially for our sister Tracy and her family, her wonderful husband. We pray God's mercy and safety on them while they're visiting in LA, and we pray for all believers and even those that don't know Yeshua, Jesus Christ, as their Messiah. Yeah, we pray for them as well, that this might be the hour that they would also believe. We know we got a lot of listeners out in Los Angeles area, and also not far from there, just further south there. We got our good friend Alan, excuse me, I'll get my brain to work here in a minute there. No more news there. We have our brother Green there, the Adam Green that's down there. So praying for him as well and his safety as well. 7.1 earthquake. Last time I was in Los Angeles many years ago, my stepdad was still alive. Went down there to see him and his brother. He lived in LA. He'd been through the big quake, 7.8 there. But while I was on my way there, I was actually in Oregon at the time, I asked the Lord in prayer. I said, Father, I've been in all kinds of natural disasters, never been in an earthquake. I said, if it's not too much trouble, could I get, just a little under a 5? Well, that night, I was only there one night. We got a 4.6 magnitude earthquake. I remember my uncle, I said, well, I guess that happens all the time. He says, not that size. And they pulled on the TV real quick, and I said, well, where's the epicenter? My uncle said, my neighborhood is the epicenter. So that was kind of interesting. Be careful what you ask for, though, right? All things are possible to them that believe, and I think our main thing for believing on right now is to try to avert these types of disasters. Anyway, I'm Steve Ben-nun. You're watching Israeli News Live. Listen, we got a great show tomorrow. We're going to be loading up for you as well. It's going to be an audio program. It's going to be with my wife, Yana, and Sophia Smallstorm, talking about a very interesting issue about electrical currents, how they affect the body, things like that. I think it'll be a blessing to you guys. Anyway, hope the earlier broadcast there with John Moore has been a blessing to many of you guys as well. I actually spoke about something that I've never spoke about before on that broadcast. So if you haven't seen it, check out that broadcast. I'm Steve Ben-nun with Israeli News Live. Erev Tov.